Oh, we are now recording.
All right. Okay.
so so you probably saw it on TikTok and you got lucky with the first part, but you didn't miss too much. And so yeah, are you or know somebody who needs extra money, no age requirements, no experience necessary, no license needed in some states. Okay. And today again, what I'm focusing on or what I'm trying to emphasize or drive home is some people want to get into real estate, but they don't know where to start. I would say be a wholesaler first. There's not so many big requirements to get in commercial real estate. And this is a great way to start. And so, being a wholesaler, what does that mean? What is a wholesaler? Well, Suzanne, I'm sure there's people that, ask for financing, trying to get that, figure out the financing. Some of them aren't licensed, some of them are actually wholesalers. Well, wholesale real estate refers to a short term business strategy that investors can use to make a quick and steady income in the real estate market. This is right off of investopedia.com. So some of you might be driving in your car listening to this. In wholesale real estate transactions, a wholesaler enters into a purchase contract for a home from a seller for a small earnest money deposit. The contract spells out the amount the wholesaler will sell the property for and the required time period for the sale. After the wholesale real estate contract is in place, the wholesaler attempts to find an interested investor. Once found, they reassign the contract to investor and agreed upon higher price. The difference in prices is known as a wholesale fee and can be 5 to 10% of the property price. This goes to the wholesaler. So you as a wholesaler aren't going to fix and flip. You're not going to do the value add. You're simply an intermediary for the end buyer and user. You probably have a lot of time in your hands. You're probably searching online. And today, that's actually what we're going to be focusing on is one of the tools I use and I like to share and coach about. We're going to jump into a second. Okay. And again, if you have a question, since you're on Zoom, feel free to unmute yourself. You are in a special group just being on the live Zoom. Um, what does that look like? Well, here's a math. So if you're watching this on video, this is truly how the math works. On a single house, single family, let's just take a roundabouts number. I picked 400,000. That's in most states in US. A fee could be potentially 5%. A fee could be maybe even up to $20,000. Sometimes they're lower, $5 to $10,000 on a wholesale fee. Again, you're finding the deal and you're flipping it to somebody who's going to actually do something with the property, buy and hold, or fix and flip. Now, I really want to open up your eyes. This is why you want to get into commercial real estate. For a commercial property, you, again, don't necessarily have to be a licensed agent in most states. Potentially on a commercial property, you could flip a property, and some properties are like 4 million. Now, imagine the math, throw another zero on there. That's on one deal. You could potentially get a wholesale and make couple 100,000 on one flip, a wholesale flip. And so this hopefully really sticks and you want to take this and run with it. And so how do you go about really nailing this down? What are you doing now to find deals? Well, I know some people are calling or mailing expireds. That is a very good, effective, common strategy. Some people are calling, mailing for sale by owners. Believe it or not, I listed and sold a 17 unit office building here in San Diego County in Escondido, and it was a for sale by owner I found on Craigslist. So they
No
are
way.
yeah, yeah, they're totally out there. And honestly, looking back on that, I should have bought it. I didn't have the tools and strategies that Susanna and I are teaching here. I should have bought it. Sure, I made about $40,000 on a real estate commission, but he sold on terms, seller carry, and the buyer still has it today, more than tripled his investment. So these are a couple strategies for sure, folks. So are you calling other brokers or agents? If the answer is yes, I want you to take this into consideration. This might be why you're running into a wall or having not that much success. The truth of it is, most all seasoned agents have their top 3 to 5 buyers or investors. We have a few agents right now live here on Zoom that could agree with me about that, because we want people that are vetted out, that we know they have proof of funds, that we know they won't monkey around. They'll take the deal from the start to the finish lines. That's why we like working with typically our 3 to 5 favorites. Most great deals, keep in mind, will never hit the open market. So especially in
Yeah.
commercial real estate, they're what we call pocket listings, right, Susanna?
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, even when I purchased my own investments, Joe, probably a good portion of those were basically brought to me by agents that I already knew and was working with. And the general public never saw the deal, right? Because I knew I was going to get it, number one. And then the other example I'd like to give is that from a commercial loan standpoint, I will have, so one of my clients was actually purchasing a fairly large apartment building, but they haven't bought from that agent before, but I knew the agent, right, through years of doing it. That agent called me and wanted me to basically confirm that I have vetted these buyers, because agents really, it's the worst nightmare if they accept a contract, right, or accept an offer from a buyer who is an unknown entity. I mean, it's really difficult I mean, people think, well, okay, I'll just buy commercial real estate. It's hard to do when you're going through the kind of more established channels. If people don't know you, they don't know that you have the funds, or they haven't seen you close before, they want certainty of execution.
Yes. And as a commercial agent, your reputation is on the line. So I know we have Mike and Jamar here. I know they're both licensed seasoned agents. Man, your reputation could be broken on one deal by taking a bad buyer. So that's why we vet it out. So write this down, folks. If you're watching this recording or online here on TikTok or Zoom or what have you, some of you are familiar with this, so you're a step ahead. It's a website that I am affiliated with. You could try it out for free. It's called findhiddendeals.com, and I'll show you what it is. PropStream. Basically, it's PropStream. So they have the tools you need to grow your real estate business. It's a data source. So why I really like it, they have built-in postcards. They have a built-in CRM. They have automatic emails. And you not only could use it for single family, but believe it or not, some folks don't understand that there's another component to it, commercial real estate. Okay, so you might want to check that out. Um, and again, the great deals aren't always found, they are sometimes made, just like that 17-unit building I mentioned earlier. The seller really wanted top dollar. He didn't have his financials ready. He had what they called a shoebox accounting, which simply means he takes the receipts from all the vendors, all the services, all the things he did, stuck it in a shoebox. There was no QuickBooks, no proper accounting. A bank doesn't like this, so they
No.
won't, right?
Yeah.
Susanna could attest to that. We're both lenders in the commercial space. And look after absentees. Notice the defaults, probates, seniors as a silver rush. This could also be found in that software PropStream. The silver rush, the baby boomers. This is a great target market, folks. If you don't know who that is, this is who you should be looking at. They're born from 1946 to 1964, also known as the silver rush. Why do we call it the silver rush? Well, I have a little bit of it, the silver gray hair. So these folks are looking to exit, folks, and they're tired of being a landlord. They may not have anybody to pass it down to. And even if they did, folks, this is something I want you to understand is the psyche of their children, okay? Their children have witnessed mom and dad busting their tail, maintaining these properties. And you know what they're thinking? I don't want to be like mom and dad. I don't want this property. And so this creates a massive, massive opportunity where I really want you guys to pay attention to that this is a target market that you should go after. And again, you could create terms. So if this person owns it free and clear or high equity, they don't need the cash. So create some great attractive terms. That's why you want to go for it. Okay, be persistent. When you're trying to find these deals, one touch will not work. Okay, you need to mail. You got to send postcards. Sometimes the harder they are to find, the better. So we call this skip tracing. PropStream does have that component in there where just because you can't find their number or email, don't stop there. You know, really start to Google their name, Google the entity. In California, go to the Secretary of State. You look at the LLC, peel that back, and you could find out who the actual owner or registered agent is. Okay. Again, PropStream does have email, sometimes the phone, the text, the cell phone, door knock. You know, when you look at PropStream or some of these other websites out there, don't go to the property because more likely than not, they don't live there. Find out where they actually live. And some of them actually stay in California because of the sunshine tax. Go ahead and door knock. And sometimes they'll be happy to talk to you. Sometimes a mailer is even best to where they live. And then repeat. Here's a script that you might want to take a picture of. This is something that I've used very, very frequently. Okay. And this is something very, very basic that I know works because I've used it. Hi, I'm calling about the property on 123 Easy Street. Are you looking to do a 1031 exchange or a cash out? It simply means the same thing, actually. A 1031 exchange or cash out, are you looking to sell? But if you frame it this way, they're looking like, okay, I do have some options. I'm not totally locked down. I am a local investor looking to expand our portfolio, or I have buyers looking to buy, and we've seen nothing on the MLS that fits their needs. These are really good, easy, break the ice kind of start a conversation pieces. Do you have any thoughts on selling your property? I would write this down, take a picture, and use it as your opener when you're trying to deal source. Okay. And
So I
again,
can add something here, Joe. I had a client who actually sold a property to a specific buyer just because they knew kind of their story, right? So this goes to your option of like, I'm a local investor looking to expand. Even if you're an agent, but you say, I have a local investor, and let's say it's a married couple, you know, their kids are in college, they want to, you know, find a commercial property to basically pay for their college or whatever the story is. Once you attach the story, it really sticks with the potential seller. And even if the property is on the market, I mean, you guys know when the market is hot, when you submit an offer, you have to submit it with a story and a picture and a handwritten letter and, you know, all this stuff. But the reason why it works even in a market that's not hot. It's just when you have a potential seller, the story will really help. But I can tell you that if you're able to source deals in this unconventional, it's not really unconventional way, because that's what actually commercial agents do anyway, right? But if you're able to do this, you'll be the hero and you'll uncover deals. And once people figure out that you're the one who can source deals this way, you're going to have a really substantial pipeline and build a reputation with your buyers that you can find them what they're looking for.
absolutely. And again, you know, if you're a licensed agent, it's a big, big difference from selling a 400,000 property versus a 4 million. Um, Today's training would be helpful if you are on that system. Like I said, go on to findhiddendeals.com. I want to definitely leave some time today for some Q&A, anything like that. And again, I could share my screen, show you a little bit about PropStream. Here are some other websites. So if you aren't aware of these, I want you to write these down, take a picture, because there are other deals out there potentially on loopnet.com, CREIC, commercialexchange.com. If you're in New York, they have propertyshark.com, cityfeet.com. And moving on further, Biz buy sell, believe it or not. I've found storage facilities on there. I've found mobile home parks on there. Craigslist. I mentioned Craigslist earlier. I found a 17 unit here in Escondido, California, listed for sale by owner by a mom and pop. It wasn't listed by an agent. Go on to Facebook Marketplace. I would encourage you to join as many Facebook groups as possible. Okay, a couple of years ago, I actually bought 2 storage facilities that I still own one of them on Facebook. Okay, believe it or not, there's deals to be found on Facebook. A lot of wholesalers will go on there. Hey, I have this and this property and list them down. And that's how I found 2 storage facilities. I still own one of them. I got rid of the other one not too long ago. Connectedinvestors.com, Reonomy. Reonomy, I was on there a while back. It does kind of get a little bit pricey, so really depends, on your budget, on the user friendliness, anything like that. You might. That's why I put on that findhiddendeals.com is you could take a trial period before locking yourself into a very lengthy contract that it's very, very hard to get out. So check those out. Landwatch. Um, I'm almost done, Susanna. So I definitely want to leave room for Q&A today and anything you wanted to share. If you need one-on-one time with Susanna, myself, and I think I saw Jesse pop on there earlier today. He's been with one of the pioneers in commercial real estate investor club, Mike as well in Palm Springs. Thinking about selling, exploring coaching, need a mentor, finance, need a loan, deal analysis, wholesale to me or Susanna or any one of the folks here in Commercial Real Estate Investor Club. DM us, direct message us in school.com, Commercial Real Estate Investor Club. Join the club. Again, if you're seeing this on TikTok or LinkedIn or on YouTube or anywhere else, join the club, join the community. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we are getting backed by even stronger entities. CREIC actually collaborated with us on a few different events. I actually have NAREP now starting to collaborate with us. That to me is a good clue that they like what we're doing. They're showing support. And yeah, that's about it for today for me, Susanna. So I wanted to keep it short and share ideas on finding deals, folks, because they are out there. You need to be looking. And actually, since we have a little bit more time, and again, guys, jump on in, especially if you're in our private group, you're on Zoom for a reason, you got special privileges to feel free. Jesse, if you want to say hello real quick, love that you're into the car and still part of our amazing group here. Anybody jump in, feel free.
I'm not sure if you can hear me, Joe. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it's working. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Give me a
Yes,
thumbs
yes, we
up.
can hear you, Jesse. Good to see you.
Sorry, guys. Good seeing you guys. I'm sorry I was a little late. I was in an appointment. I'm driving to my Ontario office right now, and I jumped on real quick, so I got the tail end of it. But yes, I love what you presented today, and it's absolutely true. I've experienced all of those. I know you have too as well, Joe. So if anybody has any questions, I mean, I'm open as well. You guys can DM me directly on social media or let Joe know, and we'll get that information out to me as well. But I'm just glad that I was able to jump on. I was hoping to be out of that appointment before you got started. Fortunately, it didn't work out that way. So here I am driving.
All right, good to see you. Good to see you. So this is PropStream, folks. So this is in the back end. I logged into my personal account, and I wanted to see this because this kind of is a summary of the opportunity. I just pulled up San Diego County. If you can see on the top, there's about 15,000 properties listed on the MLS. There's a clue right here, folks, that whatever you're listening to, some of it is very opinionated. Over here, this is based on fact. There's 739 pre-foreclosures on the market, 148 auctions, 365 actually already bank owned. So depends who you're talking to, depends what they might be trying to sell you. This is what I'm sharing that's actually recorded in the county. Okay, so like if you look at this, what I also like to look out for is for potential other opportunities. So if you could see this, could you guys still see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So the lead list, this is people that need to sell. There's people that want to sell that are typically retail. What I talked about earlier is what we call wholesale. Wholesale, they must sell. These are the types of properties that you might want to focus on: divorce, failed listings, free and clear, pre-foreclosures, pre-probate, senior owners, tax delinquencies. These are very, very motivated sellers. Then if you look here, you might want to check this out. If I go into property details, lo and behold, folks, there's a section called commercial. And so the same thing applies. So if you click on the commercial and you start to really narrow down what the parameters you're looking for, this could really, really help you out narrow down the search, because it's one of those things, you're trying to fish in the ocean. Once upon a time, I had a boat, and it was helpful that I had a fish finder. I had a Garmin fish finder, would tell me where the fish are, and I'd go to the fish. And if there's no fish, I'm moving my boat. And so this is a great way to find the fish, basically the motivated sellers. So again, check this out. Findhiddendeals.com is a great trial period. There's other websites on there, but you need to allocate time to find these potential listings, find these potential motivated sellers, and make offers. Again, today's training and all our training is usually only about 30 minutes long. We are going to go into other things like letters of intent, making an offer. Last week, we talked about how to level up. We also talked about financing. So we're really pouring on the heat on trying to build as much incredible value to serve you guys. So we only have a couple more minutes left. I want to leave it for whoever has a question or want to make another comment. So do you have anything?
I would just add, Mike, were you going to ask a question? No, I want to add that in addition to all of those scenarios that you presented, Joe, remember that commercial financing always has a maturity. And so currently there are a lot of people, everybody, all of our clients that call us for refinancing are in a tough spot because all of their rates are in the 4s or 5s, and we just cannot provide that right now. So a lot of people may not be thinking about selling, but if they're faced with a rate of 3.8 and now they're facing a 7% rate, they will certainly consider it. So if you're an agent trying to get listings, and they may not want to list it, but you can still find a buyer for them. And if they don't, all of you guys, I hope you realize that when, let's say you find somebody who just wants to refinance, if you bring us that deal, we do pay referral fees, and that's nationwide. That's not just San Diego County or California. So just keep that in mind. That is going on right now. That's normally not the case, where usually rates are, pretty stable or they've gone down the last 15 years. They either have been where they're at, 7% or less. So everybody was happy to refinance. Well, now they have to refinance, but at a higher rate. Some of these payments double from where they were at.
Yeah, so put that in your parameters. So whenever you're doing a search, whether it's, you talk to your title company, or you do PropStream, or you do LoopNet or CREIC or anything, look for properties purchased within the 3 to last 5 years.
Yeah.
Because those folks, again, the interest rates around that time was 3 to 4%. They didn't anticipate rates to double. So a lot of people that bought within that time, or even syndicated deals, they make sure that they get reserves, right? A lot of these syndicators, multifamily, what have you, bled through all the reserves. They used them up. And then they wanted to do a cash call. They called their investors. And guess what the investors said? No way. I'm not sinking any more money into that deal. You go figure it out, right? And so if they're trying to figure it out and they have no more reserves left, well, eventually they're going to be late on their payments. That's the opportunity today. So you really want to find out about which loans are maturing. That's the low-hanging fruit where, again, retail, list it. If they want top dollar, they have a good amount of equity, go for it. Make your commission as an agent. If you're not an agent, be a wholesaler, flip the deal, or try and buy it. try and buy it on great terms. Run it by Susanna and myself. We have the software. We could figure out a deal in 5 to 10 minutes flat. And we have over 700 lenders, institutions we are affiliated with. Run those deals by us. And again, we're nationwide, folks.
And for agents too, if they can really leverage the fact that we have access to 700 lenders. When you're approaching a potential client or potential seller, if they don't want to sell, just say, hey, if you want to sell, I'd love to take a look at it. If you just need to refinance, I'll be able to search all the available loan programs and bring to you a list of the best ones, so then you can pick and choose, versus sitting on the phone calling 10 of them, getting 100 questions and then getting ghosted, right? So that is a pretty valuable value add that you can bring to your customers.
Absolutely. Good deal. So we are right at the time mark where we'll start wrapping it up. Again, if you're on Zoom, this is a privilege. You are absolutely privileged to be here. Bring your questions, participate, bring your deals. If you're not part of this inner circle yet, feel free to join the school community, whether you're seeing this on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're seeing it. We'd love to have you here. We want to do the value add. Susanna, you're always amazing. You always bring the fire. I love that you're here always and running it with me. And Jamar, Mike, Natalie, Deborah, and all those other folks here, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you and hearing from you again soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.